Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Tarajio Talks. Today we're on episode 3, and I'm going to be sharing about the side effects of treatment. In our previous episode, episode 2, I shared about my treatment plan, which is basically the plan your doctor, your oncologist gives you once you have your diagnosis, and it covered all the things that I did, starting with the chemo, the radiotherapy, surgery, and hormonal therapy. And so today I'm just going to share a bit more of how those different components of my treatment plan affected my body. So, welcome back, as I said, to Tarajio, where we share stories of hope, resilience, and breast cancer awareness. I'm grateful you're joining me for episode 3 today. And I just want to talk about something that many people experience but don't always discuss openly, which is the side effects of treatment. So while treatment is designed to help us heal, it can also bring physical, emotional, and mental challenges. And sharing these experiences helps other people know that they are not alone, so that you're able to know that these are things that other people who are also undergoing treatment go through. And in a sense, it just gives you a sense of comfort, a sense of familiarity, because then you're able to know that it is not just something that is unique to you. So chemotherapy, which is what I started with, was one of the toughest parts of my treatment journey. And one of the most visible side effects for me during chemo was the hair loss. Losing my hair was emotional because it changed how I saw myself, and I developed serious low self-esteem issues because I kept thinking back at the Viola who I was before chemo. And losing my hair for me, you feel, or rather I felt, a sense of no control because it's something that just happens and you have no control of it. You can put your hair back on. You can't somehow manage all these effects that treatment does. So it can be very scary because every day I just used to think, okay, so what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? And over time, I think I learned that my strength and identity were much deeper than my experience. So during chemo, I also experienced fatigue and low energy. I used to be so tired and you just want to sleep half of the time. I had nausea, serious bouts of nausea and appetite changes. And then I had changes in taste. You get a sense of like a metallic taste in your mouth, and sometimes that can make it so difficult to just eat because you have this unpalatable taste in your mouth. And then there's also weakness and body aches, difficulty in concentrating sometimes. Chemo brain is actually real. You just go blank. Like there's just moments of fog, you get brain fog, and you're like, okay, so I'm having trouble remembering even the basic of things. And then there were also days where even just getting out of bed, you just felt like it was such an accomplishment. After chemo, I did surgery, and after my partial mastectomy, a recovery required a lot of patience. Yeah. My partial mastectomy had my right breast removed altogether, all of it. And some of the challenges included pain and tenderness around the surgical area. I had limited movement for the period of time that my scar was recovering. And then there was also the emotional adjustment to the changes in my body. I think that was the biggest side effect for me. Healing wasn't only the physical part of it, but it was also emotional, very emotional. I had to get into the right frame of mind to accept my new, dealing with how to dress up, to take into consideration my breast prosthetic and its placement made me feel very self-aware. I was always so self-conscious. So is it sagging? Is it placed rightly? Is it being seen? Also, finding the right kind of bra to wear with the prosthetic was quite a challenge in the beginning, but eventually I got the hang of it. Mastectomy bras are quite costly. They can cost anywhere from 5,000 upwards per piece, which was something that is also, quite financially constraining. So adjusting to all this, where before you just had to walk out of the house comfortably with your breasts. It was quite emotionally exhausting. But with time and great patience, I managed to find balance and reach a place of acceptance. With radiotherapy, that brought on a different set of experiences, and I noticed tiredness, skin irritation, and sensitivity around the treated area, the area where now the radiotherapy was being done. And then there was occasional discomfort because sometimes you feel itchiness, you feel, um, dryness. So all these effects were manageable, but they also reminded me that healing just often requires endurance. You just have to go through the motions, go through the processes, go through the days. And one session after the other, eventually you do get to finish. And after I finished radiotherapy, I now went on to hormonal treatment, which is what I'm doing. And the side effects of hormonal treatment are a part of my long-term recovery journey, and I continue to be on medication for a period of 7 years. The experiences I have with radiotherapy are hot flashes, like really, really hot flashes. You can be sitting with me 1 minute and then you just notice how flared up I am. My Auntie Matilda always just laughs because 1 minute we can be having just normal conversation. The next I'm like, Auntie, open the windows, open the door, open everything. Or I'm in a sweater, it's freezing cold, and I'm just like, no. I have to remove this. I'm experiencing a moment. So yeah, the hot flashes are like the wildest thing. I also have joint and muscle discomfort and pain sometimes. Then there's the mood changes. It's just very emotional. It's like an emotional roller coaster. So 1 minute you're okay, the next you're down, you're low. So there's all this fluctuation in moods because this treatment targets, your hormones. So yeah, that can be quite something else altogether. There's sometimes disturbances in my sleep pattern. I can be awake at night sometimes for quite a long time. Insomnia is part of some of the side effects I experience with hormonal treatment. And then forgetfulness. I think forgetfulness is like the mother of all my side effects with this hormonal therapy. It's so bad sometimes. And sometimes people don't understand. But when somebody's dealing with this sort of thing, the treatment, it's very important as caregivers, as family members, as friends to just extend grace because it's actually very real. Sometimes you just forget where you've put everything, your car keys, you can forget the name of somebody, you're just staring into their face and you've just gone blank. So it can be very embarrassing sometimes. It can be very frustrating because you try and remember things and can't. So I've learned to extend myself grace, and I've also tried to talk to the people around me to make them understand that it's not deliberate, it's not intentional sometimes, and I forget. So I'm learning to make a habit of, putting up reminders, writing down stuff, and also like engaging in games that, trigger your mind so that you keep your mind healthy. Try and read, listen to stuff. Just keep your mind engaged so that, you're able to just keep it active and hopefully, with time, the forgetfulness will also pass. So these effects can vary from person to person. They're not the same for everyone. It's different for everyone because everyone is an individual in their own, and your body will experience and react to the treatment differently. So it's important to discuss any concerns that you feel if you feel something is a bit too much or it's off or you don't know if you are to expect it and it's come. It's very important to be always able to maintain, your conversation on any concerns that you may have with your caregivers, with your doctors, your oncologists, so that you're able to keep track of your changes and also know what to expect, know what should alarm you. And then by and by, you just learn to adapt and give yourself grace, most importantly. The emotional side effects were also present because not every side effect is visible. You sometimes experience moments of fear, anxiety, frustration, sadness, and even uncertainty. Sometimes I was worried about the future. Other times I just felt overwhelmed by the changes happening in my life and in my body. But what helped me most was talking to family, to friends, to fellow survivors, leaning on my faith and journaling. I write a lot. So sometimes when I'm not able to just process something and communicate it verbally, I journal because I love to write. So I write about everything. I write about how my experience is. I write about just day-to-day things. I try as much as possible to maintain my normal. One thing I told myself is that even though I'm going through cancer and I'm dealing with it, I'm going through my treatment, I just like things to be normal, just like how they were before, I was diagnosed. So I try to just do my everyday things, and through journaling, that has helped me a lot. And so I write about everything, and that is usually very therapeutic for me. So I encourage you to find your yellow, even as you're going through all these side effects, find those things that give you joy, that make you happy. And if you can still do them. I also learned to take things slow, just one day at a time. Don't look at the entire picture because then it can be very overwhelming. So some of the things that helped me through treatment was accepting help when it was offered. Always accept help. Sometimes I know it's not easy to reach out and ask for help. Sometimes you may feel that you're asking too much and you may feel that you're overwhelming people. But whenever help is offered to you, accept it. Also rest without feeling guilty. One of the symptoms of cancer and cancer treatment is not side effects rather of cancer. And one of the symptoms of cancer is fatigue. So it's important to rest without feeling guilty. When your body asks you to rest, just rest, and don't feel guilty about it because it's also a form of self-care, of self-love, and it's important. Stay connected to loved ones, choose the people who choose you. Yeah. Make time for them. Make time because, it's important to number all our days, whether you're dealing with cancer or not, time is one of the most important and most loving and treasured things that you can spend on someone. So stay connected to people because it's healing as well. Like I said before, take one day at a time and stick to your treatment plan. It's very important to stick to your plan. So whatever plan that your doctor, oncologist has given you, stick to it and try as much as possible, all things held constant, to just stick to the timelines because it's very important to maintain the timelines when you're going through treatment, and then celebrate your victories, big, small, and everything else in between. I have learned to number my days. I savor every moment I'm alive. Things could be better, but they could also be worse. So I'm grateful, thankful, and blessed to have made it this far. And I continue to just try and maintain a positive mind frame because it has helped me to really get by in my treatment. Also, big for me is maintaining hope even on difficult days. That's what Tarajio is about. Keep the hope. Don't let the hard days win. Focus on the things that are with you. Focus on what you have. Don't focus on what you don't have. And just try and maintain balance. Try and maintain an attitude of gratitude and also just be hopeful, even in the fight. Be hopeful because it's very important to conquer the mind first. Yeah. And then everything else then becomes a lot more manageable. So my message to anyone in treatment today is your body is working hard to heal. So support it by staying healthy physically and mentally because the fight starts in the mind. Yeah. Develop a positive mindset and then everything else can flow from there. Some days will be difficult and that's okay. You're allowed to go through your emotions because they're all valid. Everything that you feel is valid. When you're happy, when you're sad, when you're high, you're low, you're valid to feel all those things you're feeling because that's what your body is experiencing at the time. So be kind to yourself. Read about what to expect during treatment. Join support groups of people going through the same thing. Do things that make you happy. And, find your yellow. Find your yellow and cling to it. Ask for support when you need it. There's no shame in asking for help. And also remember that you're stronger than you realize. Fight. Don't let cancer win. Even on the hard days, find a reason or reasons to keep going. talk to the people helping and living with you through treatment so that they are also able to anticipate and handle any changes you may experience with dignity and also with grace. It's important that they know that what you're feeling is sometimes beyond your control, but it'll pass, and where you need professional help, if you need to talk to people, professionals to help you go through the period and all the changes you may be feeling that are affecting people at home as well. It's important you can choose to go for group therapy so that you're all able to help each other better. So as we conclude today's episode, I'd just like to thank you again for joining me on Tarajio Talks. And if this episode has encouraged you, please share it with someone who may be going through treatment or supporting a loved one who is going through treatment. So until next time, keep holding on to hope, because this is Tarajio Talks, where every story, every episode, I hope, carries hope. And I also hope that you're able to share that hope with others, and that together we can continue to learn about breast cancer and create awareness, and together we can fight against cancer. Until next time, have a great time and be good.